You know, I'm a big believer of helping other people. I love helping other people. I mean, if you watch some of my work as well on the channel, you'll see we do programs of helping people with difficulties, destitute people, homeless, kids with HIV. We're trying to contribute. I think it's a beautiful thing. My idea is that's my way of paying rent to the Most High, to the Creator. I'm not for nothing. The reason why I'm still alive today is not necessarily because I'm smart. I think it's sometimes because of a grace, of a higher being, a higher spirit, a higher force that looks after us. Beautiful thing.
And so we are very grateful for the people that come here, that sponsor and supply us with food. At least now I've got something to eat tonight. And yeah, so it helps a lot. Thank you so much for your kindness and God bless you.
I also believe that whoever you want to help, the help should be very calibrated. You need to know who you're sending the help to. You don't just help everybody. I'm sorry. The problem is some people in the world, when you help them twice, they learn how to survive. They learn how to do themselves. They learn how to become independent. There are some people, once you help them one time, you help a second time, they think you're an open door for any times. So whenever they have difficulties, whenever they have a situation, the first person they think about is you. Now, there's nothing wrong with that if you're Bill Gates, okay? If you've got a lot of money and stuff, okay? And number two, there's something wrong with that because then you disable that person from getting the ability to look for themselves. What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much for stopping by. You are very much appreciated. My name is Zack. Your first time here, you are very welcome. Please click on the button, subscribe. I'm sure you're going to love it. I mean, you're going to love here. No doubt about that. You're going to love it. Okay? No doubt. This is family. You are my brother from another mother, and I want you here. Okay? Let's make this much bigger. Great. Let's continue. Some people, you help them, you actually disable them. They become unable to help themselves. I don't know if it's never happened to you in the past. You're into a very difficult situation, in a predicament. And what happened next is you don't know what to do. You feel like you want to cry about it. Or maybe you cry about it because somebody dropped you, because, something you expected never really came across the way you expected it. You waited for money, it didn't come across, didn't get it. What do? You lose a job. You found a way to make things happen. Right? You hear, right? You have found a way to make it happen. You have found a way. That's what being left alone does to you. Sometimes you don't help people. When you're not helping somebody, you're actually helping them. You're enabling them to find solutions for themselves. You're helping them to know how to go hunt, to go out to fish, to learn how to do whatever they have to do to get things going. And I think that is beautiful. Now, we are here, fellas, in Senegal. Here's Senegal. On a map. Beautiful place, lovely people, amazing culture. I suggest you go have a look at Senegal. They have a wrestling culture. You're definitely going to love it. It's amazing. Senegal have the best jollof. You heard of jollof, right? They say Nigerian jollof against Ghanaian jollof. Guess what? Jollof came from Senegal. They don't even call it jollof. It's the best thing ever. Go try it. Now, in Senegal, the president has said something very interesting. The president is calling his people to stand up since Donald Trump has come up with an idea of blocking aid. We all heard about that, right? Donald Trump said no more aid for Africa for the next 3 months.
The United States has been ripped off by virtually every country in the world. We have deficits with almost every country. Not every country, but almost. And we're going to change it. It's been unfair. That's why we owe $36 trillion. We have deficits with everybody. We help everybody. We've been helping everybody for years. And to be honest, I don't think they appreciate it. So we're going to change that. We're going to change it fast. We're going to make America great again. We have to focus on our country.
No more aid for you. What are you going to do? And it's very shocking to see how people have struggled. People are currently struggling to find alternatives beside the aid they used to receive from America. The Senegalese Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko spoke on Monday regarding the impact of cessation of development aid from Trump administration. Donald Trump blocked a project in Senegal worth more than 313 billion CFA franc. 316 billion CFA franc is approximately $500 million. So Trump blocked a project from Senegal and many other countries. And the Prime Minister is saying, you know what? We need to let this go. The Prime Minister stressed that this situation highlights the vulnerability of African countries to fluctuation in international aid policy. So this shows how volatile, how helpless Africans are to the fluctuation of the mood of the white people. That's the simple English, my brother. This English is just complicated, for PhD people, making you look stupid. No, it's very simple. It means this shows how African countries are vulnerable to the international fluctuation of the mood of white people in Europe and America. You have nothing for yourselves. He says we will never develop with external aid, as we have seen. The American president has blocked for 90 days development aid program for poor countries. We will never develop with external aid. My brother, let me tell you something. Many countries in Europe receive aid. What is aid? Aid is something you get from, powerful countries to help you develop, to help you move forward. To help you fix your countries. Aid comes in many forms. It comes in health, education, finances, economics, and many things. Now, the best part is this. Many European countries have received aid in the past. It's not just an African thing. After World War II, France, Italy, Germany received aid from America to reconstruct, to rebuild all the things that were destroyed. They needed aid for some times, but they don't need aid anymore. It's over. They've adjusted. Later on, Ireland got aid, Spain got aid, Portugal got aid, Greece got aid in 2008 during the crisis. Most of these countries, if not all, don't need aid anymore. But Africans, since they started receiving aid, it's aid every year, aid every 6 months. They get aid, and they do nothing with it. You know what this has done? It has transformed people into beggars. You are beggars. Africans are beggars. I'm telling you, this is what it is. I don't care how you feel. You are just beggars. You don't want to work. You don't want to learn. You don't want to see how they do it. You just want to receive. AIDS for this, AIDS for that. And the worst part is you get AIDS and you spend the money buying houses for yourself, constructing a house for your second wife, your third, your sixth wife. That's what you do in government. And all these other people supporting president because he comes from the same tribalism, because they speak the same language. AIDS. Now, what are AIDS? Let's try to clarify. Africa received many types of AIDS. Okay, health AIDS. What are the consequences of not receiving AIDS from America? Watch this. Reduced access to health care. Many African countries rely on foreign aid to fund healthcare programs, including those with HIV, malaria, tuberculosis. That could lead to shortage of essential medicine, reduced access to treatment, and weakened health system. Now, imagine people living with HIV, malaria, and tuberculosis, waiting for things to come from America. I was on TikTok this morning and I saw some lady saying, this is my last ARV, I'm taking it. I don't know what's going to happen. It's crazy. You don't make your own ARVs. You have to wait for somebody from America to send you ARVs and you call it some fancy name, AIDS. You don't have tablet for tuberculosis. What have you been doing, Africa? What have you been doing? What have you been doing? Independence was in 1960. You've been independent for many years, almost 100 years now. Yes, almost 100 years. What have you been doing? You need America to send you tablets for your HIV? Is America there when you're busy doing your things? No, there's aids for education. They give you money for building schools, training teachers, providing educational material. And CAT could limit access to education, and particularly for girls and children in rural areas. What have you been doing, Africa? What have you been doing? You've been waiting for America to educate your children? The same people you say they colonized or whatever, they want to dominate you, you expect them to do you good like that? You need to stand on your own ground. You need to make sense. I don't understand. They have economical aid. Aid often supports infrastructure projects, agricultural documents, and initiatives to promote economic diversification. And the cut could slow down economic growth. You hear that? They give you aid for good governance. Aid often supports programs aimed at improving governance, promoting human rights, and combating corruption. So they have to literally teach you everything. This is just crazy. You're just like big kid. Food security. So there's aid for food to combat malnutrition. Fellas, like I said earlier, the more you give, the more you destroy. Okay? They give you this aid to keep you slave, and you don't get that. Let me repeat myself. Take a pen and a piece of paper. They give you aid to keep you slave. They give you aid to keep you slaves, because the slave receives what the master gives him. And as long as you're going to receive aid for whatever reason, you're still going to be slaves. The reason why Trump stopped the aid is because he wants to reevaluate your alliances. Why should I give you AIDS if you're not doing things the way I want? I mean, he's right. He's 100% right. Why should I give these shithole countries AIDS for medication, H for HIV when they go do their shit that they don't cover themselves, AIDS for tuberculosis, AIDS for... Why must I give it to them? Because when I asked them to condemn Russia, they're not doing that. When I asked them to vote Russia out, they're not doing that. When I want interests of America, they're not doing that. But they want aid from me. So Usman Sonko is just reminding you. He said, Africa will never develop if your progress depends on the fluctuation of the mood of Americans. Now, there's another thing that happens. Usually when you take things away from somebody, you teach him how to build by himself. You know, in Europe, a while back, Europeans needed very much gas and petrol from Russia, especially gas. The gas of Russia accounted for about half of the gas, if not more, that the European got. Now, what happened next was they asked Germany, especially because Germany was one of the biggest beneficiaries, to stop trading with Russia like that. Germany couldn't. They asked Germany to condemn Russia due to his action in Ukraine. Germany could not do it. Why? Because Germany could see that they were going to lose their interest in getting gas from Russia if they accused Russia of anything. You know what they did? They sent a special force to go bombard Nord Stream pipelines. They destroyed it. So Germany could not receive gas from Russia anymore. Now guess what happened? It gave Germany more independence. Even though Vladimir Putin at the time was threatening Europe, saying, if you do this, I'm going to cut the gas off. The Ukrainians and their friends, they say, you know what, let's go bomb that pipe so that the Europeans can learn to survive for themselves and by themselves. Whatever occurred, they have learned to survive by themselves. They get gas coming from Norway now and from America and liquid gas from America. This is what it is, my brother. This is an opportunity for Africans to be independent, to learn how to make their own product, to learn how to make their own ARVs, their own tablet for tuberculosis, to learn how to manage the finances. Because let me put it this way for you. I mean, if I know I'm going to receive AIDS, all I need to do is spend your money, spend the money you send me. How about I spend the money you send me for AIDS? You sent me money to build schools. I'm going to take half of it and spend it on my wives and my friends, on my people, my tribe. How about that? You're going to send more aid. Well, if you're using somebody else's money, you're not going to do things appropriately. It's like when you drive somebody's car, you don't look at the potholes. You just drive. But when you drive your own car, you're very careful. Same for the money. When you use your own money, you're thinking, I'm not spending all my money. This is my money. I worked hard for it. It's the same thing. If you use other people's money for infrastructure, for whatever, you spend half of it in corruption. But if you're using the money of the people, the money you've produced in your land, it helps you manage things better. I think Africans should stop being children. Okay? All these leaders. Congratulations to the Senegalese president. I don't know. Do you agree? Please, let's clap for him. This is what we want to see. Okay? This is what we want to see. Let me know how you feel about this. It was a great pleasure. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. If you like our work, hey, send us money. Okay? There's a button here. Click on that button. Send us money. Send us money, my friend. Stop it. Stop that stuff. Why is only white people sending money to other white creators? You can't. You guys go. I mean, I don't get you guys. Click on that button here. Send the money. Okay. Lovely.